Hello parents, good morning. Let's take a look here. This is all work that's going to prepare your son or daughter for the EOC, also for the test. And the test is from today, after school, till Monday. Okay? And homework week 6 is due. Look up here. Parents, please go on Canvas, or Focus rather, on Focus and check grades. All right, look up here. We've got to first find the slope, so the y's, which is the second one, go on top. So this one goes on top. So it's y minus my y over my x minus my x. That becomes a plus. 6 minus 4 is 2. That becomes a plus. And that ends up with a 1. So that equals a slope of 2. All right, so once you have your slope, the next thing you want to do is point slope. So this one is A, and then B, which is point slope. You're going to use either one of these points, but if they don't tell you, I want the first one. So it's going to be y minus my y, which is the second one, equals my slope, and then x minus my x, which happens to be a negative. So there's a negative in the formula, and there's a negative with the number, so that becomes a double negative, which becomes a plus. And there it is, and there's point slope. You can rewrite it if you want. Let's go to C, slope-intercept form. I'm going to switch over to my ink pen. So here we go. So we're going to get y plus 4 equals 2x, and then 2 times a positive 2 is a plus 4, and then all you have to do is subtract 4, and you get y equals 2x. And that's called slope-intercept form. So that would be C. You could put plus 0 if you want. And then finally D is standard form. And in standard form you have to get the x and y's on this side. So take this one and you're going to switch it to this side, and the sign is going to change to a negative. So it's going to be a negative 2x plus y equals 0. And then finally, they don't want the first one to be a negative, so just put the squiggly and change all your signs. So change that, and 0 you can't change, but you should try. This is called standard form. And then finally, the last one wants perpendicular. So if you look at B, B is right here. So let's rewrite that one. So for E, they want perpendicular. So the slope is 2, but you want to make it a fraction, and then you want to flip change. So that becomes 1/2 when you flip it, and when you change it from a plus, it becomes a negative. So that's the slope you want. So you want to use everything you have here. So it's going to be y plus 4 equals a negative 1/2, and then it's going to be x plus 2. So everything stays the same here except for the slope. The slope changes because you got to flip it and change it to get perpendicular, which is 90 degrees. And there it is. And all this stuff that I just went over will be on your test and on the EOC, so make sure you know it. Go over this video a couple of times if you have to. All right, on a new sheet of paper, copy this one down. And I want you to give me all the matching angles. All right, so alternating interior, anything in between the parallel lines is called the interior. So 3 and 6 are alternating, and 4 and 5. Alternating interior. Alternating exterior would be on the outside, but it jumps across the transversal. So it's got to jump across. So 1 and 7, and 2 and 8. Make sure you learn these, okay? Same side interior would be these two. The same side of that transversal there. So it would be 3 and 5. And 4 and 6. Same side exterior would be 1 and 8, and 2 and 7. Okay, and then finally corresponding is top, so it's 1 and 5. Top, 2 and 6. Bottom is 3 and 8. And finally 4 and 7. Make sure you learn these. Vertical, there's a bunch of them. Okay, these are vertical, so 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 5 and 7, and 6 and 8 are all vertical. And everything's equal if the lines are parallel except for these two. These are your Superman. These add up to 180. So something plus something is equal to 180 if it's parallel lines. Okay, all the other ones are equal, like angle 3 would be equal to angle 6. But if it says SS, that's Superman. It equals or adds up to 180. Make sure you know that. That's called supplementary. All right, copy down these two right here and try and work them. All right, this is called an exterior angle. There's two ways you can do it. You can use the formula. The exterior angle is equal to the remote plus the remote. The one right next to it here is not remote. That's right next to it. That's called adjacent. And in this case, it's supplementary because it adds up to 180. Anyway, you would subtract this and get 90. Okay. If you don't know that way, then you should know it. You subtract and you get 60 here. Okay? Because that adds up to 180. And then every triangle adds up to 180. So you subtract these two. That's 90. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, so 60, 70, 80, that is correct. This is 90, and it's 180. So 90 and 90 is 180. So this has to be 90 degrees. Okay. All right, so this one right here, every triangle adds up to 180. So this plus this is equal to 180 degrees. So you're going to subtract 50 out of this. So minus 50 gives you 130 degrees. Now, this is not 130 degrees. 130 degrees is going to be more like something like that, okay? Bigger than 90. This one right here, copy that down and try that one. All right, so these two, the lines are parallel, so these two are called same side interior and Superman, SS. So 2x plus 6x plus 36 is equal to 180 degrees. And this is on your worksheet as well. So that gives me 8x plus 36 is equal to 180. So I'm going to subtract 36 and divide by 8. Do that right now. Okay, what do you have for an answer? All right, let me try it. So 180 minus 36, press equals, divide by 8, press equals, I get 18. Now, if they want the angles, you'd have to multiply 2 times 18, 6 times 18 plus 36, and they should add up to 180 degrees. All right, get your practice test out from yesterday and finish it. If you're finished, find something to do quietly. I do want you to rework the ones that you had trouble with. Let's turn our attention now to MCR. So MCR class, here's your bell work. Okay, don't forget you have a test and you have to turn in homework. Okay, the test is from today after school till Monday. All right, so let's try these. I want circumference and area. Area is the inside, so it's going to be pi times the radius squared. Well, if you put 20, that's not your radius, that's your diameter. So half of that is 10. So the radius is 10, so it's 10 times 10. Multiply that out. On your calculator, you have it. Circumference is like if you walk around this circle 1 lap. If you walk around 5 laps, you'd multiply by 5. So circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. The diameter here is 20. Use your calculator, and you got your answer. On the next one right here, you want to get x by itself, so draw a line. I would add 2 to both sides. So you're going to get 3 over 5, x is equal to 8. You're dividing by 5, so I would multiply by 5. 5 times 8 is 40, so you get 3x is equal to 40. And then you divide by 3, and whatever you get on your calculator will be good enough. Okay? Remember, the practice test has answers on it. All right, this one right here, you know, is on the test. So I want you to work this one right here, work number 3. Let me make it a little darker. All right, so when you do number 3, you're dividing by m, so you want to multiply everything by m. These m's cancel. So you get mky minus mbf is equal to fy. Now, you want to get your y's together because you're trying to get y by itself. So in this case, I want to move this, which is a plus, over here. So it's going to become mky minus fy, and then I'm going to move this over here, which becomes, it's a negative, so it becomes a positive mbf. And then finally I'm going to factor out a y, and I'm left with mk minus f is equal to mbf. And then finally I divide by this and I'm done. So y is equal to mbf, all divided by mk minus f. Make sure you know that. You have 2 or 3 of these on your test. Try this one right here. Draw the diagram. Now volume is big B times h. And big B is the bottom. So the bottom is a circle. So it's pi radius squared is big B. The height of this thing is 10. But since it comes to a point, you must divide by 3. So the setup is going to be 3.14 times the radius squared. The radius is going to be 10, half of that, and then times the height, which happens to be 10 as well, and then divide by 3. So get your calculator and work that out. And then finally, the last one, when you subtract fractions, you could do it like this, but the way I taught you is 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1. So I get 11 over 5 minus 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10 over 3. 5 times 3 is 15. So your least common denominator is 15. I would multiply by 3. 3 times 5 is 15. And then on this one, I'd multiply by 5. 5 times 3 is 15. So I get 33 minus 50 all over 15. And then here I have more minuses. And I think that's going to be a negative 17. You can check it on your calculator. And there it is. And that's how you do that. All right, finish up your practice test if you have to. Other than that, you can relax quietly. Good luck on your test and turn your homework in. Have a good morning.